Hi, this is Dave Worden. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about one of my favorite exercises in the Arban book. And I think it's in all the editions of the Arban book, at least all the ones I've seen. Some editions leave out material in the middle, the pretty slow songs, for example, to help you work on phrasing. But I believe these single tongue exercises are in all the editions. And that's what I'm looking at here. I practiced them when I was in high school. I would spend time reading through the Arban book almost every day, picking a part that I liked and sight reading some of it and then learning the exercise. I sort of skimmed over these because they were quite easy to play for the technique I had at the time, not realizing there was more to gain from these exercises than I appreciated when I first tried to read them. Here's the first exercise. This is exercise number 19. So I played through them. Most of them aren't too much harder than that. Some have a little more fingers that you need to use or a little more interval work, but they're all pretty easy to play, as I just did. However, to really appreciate them, I had to first hear the recording Mendez did. I think he did it back in the 1950s. He played all these single-tongue exercises. Not a great recording acoustically, it was in a very small room. But what it demonstrated to me was how clear his tongue was on every single note, and what a difference that made. If you listen to Mendez, a trumpet player, a trumpet virtuoso, he sounds in a way better than even our best virtuosos today. Not that he's playing things faster, but they just sound so clean and so exciting somehow. I believe that's because every single note that he's playing, in most of the pieces anyway, speaks really clearly. In these, what he did was he played them first at half speed, just a few bars. That was to demonstrate to the listener how they should sound, how even they should sound, but also for the player. In my case, now I'll do that. It helps me make sure my tongue is working right at the slow tempo, that I'm really getting a good attack on every note, a good center on every note. If I can't do it at the slow tempo, it's not going to work very well at the fast tempo. So here's that same exercise, number 19, the first few bars. Now that's easy to do slowly if you work on it a little bit. Some of you might have trouble depending on how adeptly you use your tongue. But when you go up to a normal tempo, it becomes harder. Your tongue's not used quite that accuracy with fast single tonguing. We tend to almost not slur, but mush over the single tongue. Instead of going dot, 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 we go dot, 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 dot. Our mouth automatically softens the tongue a little bit to make it less work so the tongue can move faster. But I'm going to try to keep the same attack I had slowly. I encourage you to seek out these recordings. You can find them on YouTube, Mendez playing them. The example I just demonstrated had repeated notes for the most part on the 16ths, dot, 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 on the same pitch. This next one I like, it's number 22, because it has arpeggios, so dee da 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 dum. And there, of course, I want a clear attack on the first note, and most people also strive for a clear attack on the third note, where you get to the eighth note, dee da da, dee da da, like that, but they don't get that middle note. It's da 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 instead of da 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 dee da da. So without that, you're not hearing all three notes of the chord clearly. So again, I'll practice this one slow a couple of times to make sure I've got it right. If I'm happy with it, I'll go on to a fast tempo then. Again, that can use a little work too, but it's good practice for me. As I got better at double tonguing, which I didn't do all through high school and through the first 6 or 7 years in the Coast Guard band, my single tongue was pretty fast, and I could keep up with almost anything without worrying about double tonguing. But then we started to play more circus marches, and in those, the conductor wanted a real circus march tempo, and my single tongue just could not do that. So I had to learn how to double tongue, but that was later in life. Now, as I'm more comfortable double tonguing, my single tongue has slowed down because I don't use it as much. However, I think you can practice these exercises with a double tongue as well. I would try to master them first with my single tongue, but then use the double tongue on them. You can do the same pattern though, play it slowly with your double tongue, which makes it clear if your ka sound is adequate. And then go up to a faster tempo. So I tried to push the tempo further and further to see just how far I could go. As you probably heard on the recording, as I get faster, it's still not where I want it to be. So again, something I can work on. In the Arban book, there are so many exercises that help you break down into simple concepts what it is you're trying to do. This is one of the better ones, at least it was for me, once I had the example of somebody showing what could be done, in this case, Mendez. I encourage you to try these, seek out those recordings on YouTube, and see what you think. Test your own playing first and see if it's really as clean as you might have thought it was. Mine certainly wasn't when I started doing these. Have fun.